my hair. Don't
Hey,
ever. It's my friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
Talents.
evening. Yeah. Good evening, Julie.
Good evening. Hi, I did my hair, guys.
Yes,
Today-
we were just talking about that and how beautiful you look with your new hairdo.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah, beautiful. And my African hair.
Except it's so long now, I had to refocus my camera in on you today.
Well, it's okay. At least I can show off a little bit. See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
it's July 20th, 2023, and we've got a few things to talk about. You heard my last video about the bears and about the drugs and stuff that we were talking about, and
Yeah, correct.
yeah, and that poor woman who was handing out $5 bills and got punched, and of course the rest of the video. But just to give you another idea to my viewers, just how desperate these people are for the drugs. You were walking the other day and you had a woman running up behind you going, Julie, Julie, I got $3 panning. And of course, panning is the other word for panhandle.
Yes.
And what did she tell you?
She says, "Oh my God, I gotta run to the shepherd for a hit. Oh, for $3. Well, I said, "Don't go ahead. Do you have any extra change?" I said, "No." You know.
So how,
you know what? Though I'm sorry, I'm not the bank here.
oh, yes, I don't think you're the bank.
No.
But
Yeah, so
this
she
is
wants-
interesting. So she's now got $3 from panning, and she's now running to her dealer at the Shepherd's. And how much do you think she's going to get for a hit?
Oh my, just a small one.
Just a small hit.
It's a small hit just to keep her going.
Yeah, and you see that too, is that the dealers,
Constantly.
yeah, the dealers who I call the Papa and Mama bears, to keep the baby bears going, they just make sure that they give them that little bit of a hit in between the big paydays.
Exactly, and the babies, well, they run at night.
Yes, and they're running around wild at night.
Exactly.
They're not like what we did as children. We had our curfews. For a good example, come in at dark. Well, when the street lights went out, that was our signal as children to come home. Dark was coming on, time to come home. That was your curfew. Unless you're a little older and had a 10, it was at 10 o'clock maybe, you might have to come home.
Yeah, 10, 11, that was
Yeah.
that was my curfew.
Yep, mine too, when I got older. But when I was young, as soon as the lights went, street lights went up,
Yeah,
that was it.
That was it. I used to run at home.
Yep, and
8,
then
9
if we
o'clock.
didn't obey the rules, we were either grounded, or we either grounded, or we didn't do something, or we lost privileges, and so we did what we were told when we were younger.
Exactly. No TV for 2 days, and take the TV away, and and no treats at night, and go to bed early.
Exactly. So it was much more stricter when we were younger.
Really strict, and I don't regret it at all. Thank you,
No.
Mom and Dad. You
No.
had to be strict just to keep me strong today.
I know. Well, I think we had things much better when we were kids.
Yes.
But today I wanted to talk a bit more about, again, the drugs. And this morning I was walking, and this woman was lucky in a way that I did spot her, because she was half hidden, and I had Heidi with me at the time. So it was just the angle. I just happened to see her, and I looked, and I thought, and I'm squinting my eyes, is that an elbow with attached to an arm? So I went up closer, and yes, one of our people had dropped again, and I went up, but I had to be careful because I couldn't bring Heidi too close to her, because I didn't want the dog either, if she had drugs around her, or that the dog could sniff, or even needle step on. But again, when I looked at her, it was pretty horrible to see her, because she had her mouth wide open. I was trying to see if she was breathing. She wasn't black and blue yet, or blue around the lips, but it was her breathing was very, very shallow. But another older woman came up, and she didn't have a phone on her. I had my phone, but trying to hang on to a dog and a phone at the same time didn't work. And before I said, well, we can use my phone, but I'll have to hang on to the dog, and you'll have to talk on my phone. She took off to the shopkeeper, who came out right away and used her phone to call 911 right away. And while she was talking to 911, I saw her starting to slowly take in more deeper breaths, and she finally slowly sat up. And then the shopkeeper asked her, do you want an ambulance? And she said no, she didn't. She tried to ask her name, but she was still a little incoherent. But she did finally stand up and tried to put her belongings together. So she ended up being okay, but it was very, very close. But again, and the other thing was, when I looked at her, it's the skinniness that we're seeing today. I mean, it looks like these people are absolutely starving who are on these drugs because
Yeah, they starve themselves. Yeah, yeah, they don't eat.
they don't
For weeks
eat.
and weeks and weeks, like Rachel, my friend Rachel.
Yes,
And it's really sad, because now I can see her bones,
Yes.
coming out.
yeah, and all she wants to eat, you said, was what was it?
Popsicle and and ice cream. That's
Well,
about
you,
it.
well, you cannot exist on it. But this is what happens: is these people, from what you've been telling me, they get high, they don't sleep, they're on the run, sometimes for days. They just go, and they don't eat. Period. So it almost makes us look like we're a third world country where our people are literally starving at the same time. But I mean, to look at her, it was just horrible again to see this, because they just look like the Walking Dead. They're just nothing but toothpicks.
Yeah,
Literally.
exactly, like zombies, Walking Dead, and oh my God, yeah, it's really awful to see.
It is. It's just terrible to see what's
Terrible.
happening today, and what you do about it. But I think what was interesting is, like, you and I have wonderful conversations when you do come over to see me, and we were talking, and you were your friend. I think, was it Rachel, or I think you were talking about
Yeah,
your friend.
Rachel Sly.
Yeah. So no,
yes.
that you were talking about how her tongue moves and how her movements are,
Yeah, that was my friend Sylvie.
or Sylvia. Sorry.
Sly. Yeah, her
Yeah,
name
there's
is-
so different, so many people right now that are going down, and we're seeing this at an alarming rate. Can you describe how this other woman, Sylvie, reacts? Like her body,
Sly?
her body movements.
Oh my God, I was on the bus just coming back from South Keys, and I was, yeah. So anyways, I was on the bus with her, and so anyways, I see her at Billings so she's outside at the bus stop, like just, getting on the bus, so it's like so excited. So anyways, I see coming in, she went straight in the back. Oh, hi Julie, how are you? So after that, though, she was singing like this, she was sitting like this, she was, she was moving around, and after that, like this with her tongue. Talking,
Yes.
going backwards on the boyfriend. Oh my God, the phone like this. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and so just moving a lot,
Yeah, and then we were talking, and it was interesting because you came up with the word, ticks.
Ticks, yes.
Yeah, and I'm saying, well, that sounds familiar. And so, of course, when I looked it up on Google, of course, ticks and the Lyme disease, but I said there's something else associated with it. So I tried again, and it turned out that when I redid Google and several tries, I finally came up with the correct term that I knew. That ticks is one term, but the correct term is Tourette's syndrome.
Correct. There
And
you go.
what we're seeing is jerky movements, the same thing. And it's interesting because I knew a person with Tourette's, and similar with the tongue, jerky movements, and all of a sudden he'd just jump up and then jump down and kiss the ground type of thing.
Yeah.
But
I have
this
some
is
friends like this too.
yes, but this is a proper medical diagnosis, Tourette's syndrome. But then when I looked up on Tourette's syndrome, they were trying to figure out why so many people today are having the problem with Tourette's syndrome. They seem to be having an outbreak of Tourette's syndrome at the same time. And I'm now questioning, I mean, I'm not a medical expert, but is there something that's with these drugs, the street drugs that they're on, that are causing this maybe? Because we're seeing, and could it be something latent because there's adult onset of Tourette's as well? Is this bringing something on with these street drugs?
Well, I believe so, and the doctors, I think, they need to work on that, and to read more books and to understand their syndrome. Yeah, but Tourette is part of their addiction. Yes, it is.
Because it makes, like I said, it's just a question. It's a big question mark right now because, like I said, with what you're talking about, and with having known people, like I said, the other term for Tourette's syndrome is tics. So, like I said, I had to look it up on Google, and everyone's welcome to look it up on Google. But some of these symptoms that these people are displaying are similar to Tourette's syndrome. So I mean,
Correct. Yes, I
so
believe
it's
so
a really
too.
big question, and I think we should actually maybe investigate it and see if we can. Our doctors should investigate it and see, is there an association with the drugs and the adult onset of Tourette's syndrome?
Exactly, and the mix of drugs, and their brain not functioning so fast with the disease, So yeah.
So that's good. I'm just going to do a short video with you again today, but I just wanted to also explain about the mama and the papa bears, and then This woman that you were talking about earlier, that on the bus there, she was the dealer that we had seen a couple of weeks ago, and she was on her feet and doing much better at that point. But again, it's like I said, the dealers are going down even, and of course she's not dealing like she was, but we're seeing the dealers going down. So they start out as the mamas and the papas, and now they're turning up to be the baby bears, because they've got to have their fix now as well.
Exactly. You know, and they want me around close. They want me to come close to them, because you know why? Because they're dying. You know,
I know.
Yes, they want Mama Bear, Julie, to be close to them.
Yes,
And
but
be close to me
you're not the mama bear with that's handing out the drugs, at least.
No, not at all.
You're the
No.
nurturing mama bear.
Yes, I am the caring, nurturing
Yeah,
Mama Bear.
yeah, so likes
They
to,
always come
that
ready.
loves to look after her cubs.
There you go. That's what
Not
I
the
do all
other way
time.
around.
Not the other way around. I love my cubs.
So I'm going to leave the video there today, people, and we shall talk to you again soon. And be safe and take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Love you.